This case, Conceptualization, is on Frank Gallagher. Just a side note, real quick, there's lack of quotes and videos available from the show he is on in the internet, but there are a lot of write-ups and examples about him and his psychological health. So, out of the 11 seasons of the show, I'm just going to be giving examples, and there will not be quotes or videos because they are not specific or significant to his diagnosis. So, Frank Gallagher is the main character on the TV show Shameless. He is the protagonist. He is a white male in his mid 50s. He is also the father of six, biological father to five, who has no job and lives either at home, in other people's houses, group homes, or literally on the streets. A little background on Frank's family history. Frank was abused as a child. His mother was manipulative, selfish, and neglectful, not only to him, but others as well. He tells about how, as a child, his father and him would go out and steal. His mother and Aunt Ginger were heavy drug users, mainly meth. All these tendencies so far are seen in Frank. Exactly. Frank met Queenie Slott at Northwestern and had a daughter, Samantha, but took no role in her life until it benefited him until he was in his late 50s. She had no idea he existed. With Monica, who became his wife and then divorced, he had five children, four biological. He is present in their lives but provides no to minimal support and comfort, and more so receives support from his children. For example, they have to work to pay bills and eat food starting at about 9 years old. He steals money from them and doesn't contribute to the family 98% of the time, and even called child protective services on them, and four of them went into foster care. Frank has minimal relationships not only with his children, but also romantic partners and other individuals. And his relationships don't last very long or non existent because he is in them for him to get something out of them. For example, he pursues a relationship with Sheila, whom is suffering from agoraphobia because she receives a lot of disability money as well as money from her husband's death. He also married Dottie to get the benefits from her death. He found out that she had a heart condition. He intercepted the message that she had the option to get a heart transplant, and then was going to wait out and let her die to benefit after marrying her, but instead killed her. He also has some interesting sexual behaviors and tendencies, potentially impulsive and with disregard for consequences at times, like sleeping with his son's girlfriend. Here on this slide are the reasons for why I'm assessing Frank, and in the next couple of slides, I will go deeper into each of these with examples to provide evidence for his diagnosis. The diagnosis that best fits Frank is antisocial personality disorder. Frank is what everyone on the internet and the reviews calls a troublemaker. Frank steals and cons people for alcohol, drugs, or money. He collects his dead aunt's social security checks and other people's disability checks. He's often cheating the system to get money. He also kidnapped an Alzheimer's patient for a con. Frank is constantly lying to get around the police or to get money, alcohol, drugs. He manipulates and cons everybody for his benefit. He lied about his broken leg that was no longer broken, still hurting, to get more opioids. He lied and manipulated the police officers to believe that he was given permission when he was trespassing. He didn't tell someone they were able to receive a heart transplant so he could get their money at death, and convinced his son that he had cancer so that Frank could benefit from it. Frank is the ultimate manipulator. He is extremely intelligent and rarely doesn't lie and con to get what he wants. He's always lying and conning to get what he wants. Frank in the 11 seasons has only held one job, and it lasted less than one episode, and he provides no fatherly support. Maybe once or twice he actually does, when his daughter was pregnant and when his son was bullied, but more so it was for his benefit, not theirs. He has shown irritable and aggressive tendencies that leave people shaken. He attacked his own son, fought others. He intimidated his children into letting him have the youngest child. He attempted to burn down the homeless shelter after being kicked out, and so on. Frank shows a major lack of remorse as well. He does not care what he does to people as long as he is getting what he wants. He sent his own children into CPS. He takes his children's money and lives off of them. He didn't tell Dottie that she had a new heart coming, and then eventually finished the deed for himself. He even ruined his daughter's wedding. Frank puts and has never showed any remorse throughout any of the seasons. Frank puts not only himself but others in danger. He drugged a baby with Down syndrome. He called CPS on his kids, for example. He also gave up his child to some very dangerous people for his benefit. Frank also most likely meets the criteria for conduct disorder. When he was younger, showing definite deceitfulness, for example, engaging in stealing and manipulation, in violation of rules, as he spent much time in juvenile detention or in trouble with the law as an adolescent. A lot of these examples that I gave intermix fitting many criteria, but there is strong evidence that he fits criteria for antisocial personality disorder. The majority of people with psychopathology also fit criteria for antisocial personality disorder. However, Frank only has antisocial personality disorder. He does not have psychopathology. He does show some regards for others at times, as he helped out Liam when he was bullied and got him to a prestigious private school. He manipulated his way, but he did help. He has shown some occasional tendencies to help those around him, mostly for his benefit, but 90% of the time, that's generous, he doesn't. He doesn't just lie to lie. He lies to get money, alcohols, and drugs. There's always a purpose to why he is lying. He can feel and identify emotions. He just chooses not to care, only feel his own emotions. Frank does not meet the criteria for psychopathology. Frank meets some criteria for narcissistic personality disorder, as seen in the right. However, he is interpersonally exploitative, but he doesn't put other people down. He doesn't require excessive admiration, more so he believes he should have it. He is not preoccupied with the thoughts that accompany narcissistic personality disorder. He has a sense of self-importance, aligning with the cognitive distortion of the world should do what I want, rather than everyone should think I am as great as I do. And overall, he's selfish and manipulative, but as I have presented in the evidence for antisocial personality disorder, that diagnosis is the best fit. Potential theories for why antisocial personality disorder has developed in Frank is biology and culture. It is unsure if Frank's mother had antisocial personality disorder, as it is highly a male disorder. Who knows? But it is noted that his behavior and personality resembles that of his mother a lot. It has a large genetic component, which could in part explain. And we don't know much about his father, and we did know that he liked to manipulate and con people as well. But nature and nurture work together. His environment growing up, not only with his mother and father, included drug abuse, stealing from others, feelings of entitlement and self-importance, and lack of empathetic feelings, which could potentially create a cognitive framework that also contributed to his current psychological situation and his behaviors. The most important things as a clinician is making sure he has responsibility to show up for therapy. If he doesn't show up, it cannot be beneficial. The treatment I recommend is in-person treatment for his substance abuse and then a strict AA meeting guidelines. I also would then recommend cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to target his beliefs that the world should do as he wants and that he needs to look at himself because all he has is himself. And that idea that he can do what he wants as he pleases to get what he wants. I also think that there will need to be some strong emphasis on his behaviors as well. And here